Welcome back to Hiking with Kathleen. In this week's video, we are taking you around on our tour of Victoria, British Columbia. So stay tuned, you'll see the adventures that we get into. So this is incredibly exciting for me. It's about a 10-minute walk from our inn to get down to this coastal area. And so far, I've had a chance to film a little bit of the river otter action. Now, river otters can be seen as distinctly different from sea otters, which we saw when Shannon and I were on the cruise ship, because sea otters lie on their back, with their heads up and their back feet visible. River otters, you basically can see their head, and maybe occasionally you can see their tail. So anyway, that's what I've seen so far, as well as some bird species. So this is really exciting. So I am getting such a kick out of this, just standing here on this trail that runs along the harbor and being able to see all kinds of cool things that I've not seen before. So the species I'm looking at are ones that are common in the West Coast. I'm from Ontario, Canada, so I would see species that are more common around the Great Lakes. So I just filmed this beautiful hummingbird that was just sitting on this branch right here. In fact, I was talking to Shannon because she's back in the room right now, and I said, I've got to go, there's a hummingbird right here. So that worked out well. And then some very small ducks that are along the shoreline. So I'll have to look those up for you because I have no idea what species they are. But anyway, in a short while, I'll be meeting up with friends, and this is where I'm able to bring you the interesting creatures that make the west coast of Canada their home. So we're going to go with our friends Heidi and Melissa, and we're going to go for a hike along this trail, and we're looking forward to it. It's an area we've never been to.
Yeah, you don't want to take
beautiful up ahead.
How clear it is. It goes, winds right around.
So I just walked the 10 minutes again from the inn to get here down to what I now realize is called Holland Point Trail. It's a lot windier than it was yesterday, so the water's not nearly as calm. Not good for videography really with this high wind, but I'm down here because there might be something interesting for me to see. So I see that white-tailed deer are also found here because then I just filmed a buck that was pilfering somebody's garden. And he wasn't too concerned that I was there. So just having a walk along here, I can see the beautiful appeal that the residents of Victoria feel when they go for their walk along the shoreline. So I'm hoping this morning, because I came out a little bit earlier, that I'll be able to get a beautiful sunrise. I've been awake in our room since only about 5:30. Sometimes I wake up at crazy hours, like 4:30, it's just what happens. So I woke up nice and early and I thought that's what I need to do, is get down here and get a sunrise. So this is the beauty that lies ahead of us. So our short time in Victoria has been wonder-filled. We arrived 2 days ago, from the cruise ship, and then Shannon and I spent that night alone, which was the Friday night, and we were able to wander the town. We hung out in the harbor in the downtown area, saw lots of women that we recognized from the cruise ship, the Alaskan Cruise ship. And so that was a really wonderful evening. We sort of got oriented that night, figured out where we were and how close it was to walk to the inn. So then, yesterday morning is when I came out here for the first time and filmed a lot of wonderful things, including river otters and all kinds of birds. So what we did next is we met up with our good friends, Heidi and Melissa, and I went to university with Melissa. We were both at Western University, and we've kept in regular contact over the years. In fact, there was a time she was living in the Yukon, in Faro, Yukon, and I went up to visit her during my Christmas break when I was working at the school board. People wondered, why would you go in the winter? Well, she was migrating down to Vancouver. I was running out of time if I was going to go see her in that beautiful wilderness area. So anyway, we had, as I said, we've been keeping in contact over the years. So yesterday, they took us to a place where the salmon are still running. In fact, I guess it starts a little later here than it does in Alaska. Typical salmon running season, I guess, is October to December. So this might have been a little on the early side since we're still just inside of September right now. And we got to see chum salmon that were running. So that was a really cool experience. Shannon and I had never witnessed that before. So, and prior to that, we visited a trail that included railroad trestles that had discontinued being in use to carry cargo trains, I guess for logging purposes, in 1979. So that was really impressive to see that structure, and so it was one that people could travel across, and there was a trail built around it. So we've really had some great experiences, and we're really thankful to them for having shown us around. So we're going to meet up with them again a little bit later today, and they are heading back to where they live, which is in Vancouver, which means that's a ferry ride away from Victoria. So we'll be able to visit with them, and I guess one of the things that we're expecting to do is there's a park not far from the inn. They're staying at the same inn as us, and it's called Beacon Hill Park. And that, I guess, is quite beautiful to see. We're looking forward to exploring yet another area. So this is what the harbor looks like first thing in the morning as we see dawn breaking over to the east. And the appeal for living in a coastal city is huge. We had such a great time with those guys yesterday, and then we went out for dinner and hung out in the downtown area for a bit. And yeah, I'm really grateful for this whole experience. The Alaskan Cruise, our time in Victoria. And after we're finished with Victoria, tomorrow morning, bright and early, we're heading to Edmonton, and we're expecting to pay Elk Island a visit. So we're taking you along for that too. Well, on our way back from the harbor, we admired Beacon Hill Park one more time. Thanks to Heidi and Melissa for showing us around Victoria and introducing us to new West Coast tree species. We really enjoyed our time here and spending it with you. Join us again next week. We'll be exploring Elk Island National Park in Alberta.